Hi, it's Christina with the Sisyphean Journal. Today is May 12th, and we're going to look at one of the precursors to today's ever popular home abortions. Um, that I've said it before. Once people get it into their heads that abortion is a good thing, the reason they get it into their heads that it's a good thing is because they at least say they want to help the women, but then they're willing to do horrible things playing Russian roulette with the women's lives. So I wish somebody would explain that to me. Why you would do something you know might kill her while being totally convinced that you're helping her. So a woman that we gave the pseudonym Anita was a 23-year-old mother of two when she chose safe and legal abortion in 1971. She traveled from Massachusetts to New York and had not told her husband she was planning on the abortion, and she even used a fictitious name at the facility. On May 11th, the doctor estimated that Anita was 22 weeks pregnant and initiated a saline abortion. And that's when they use one of those gigantic needles to suck out as much amniotic fluid as they can, and then they replace it with a strong, sterile saline solution that causes the baby to die a slow, painful death. And it can also cause the mother to die a painful death. This abortion method was totally abandoned in Sweden, the Soviet Union, and Japan because it was so dangerous to the women. But American abortionists were fine with it. Again, it's like, oh, who cares if she lives or dies as long as the baby dies? Make me understand this. Make me understand why they were okay with endangering women like this. The abortionists did this, something that was not safe to do even in a hospital. He sent Anita home to expel the fetus on her own with no medical supervision and apparently no arrangements made for safe follow-up. And this is parallel to our current situation where abortionists just hand out abortion pills like they're Pez or something. And not only do they not make arrangements for follow-up care, but they're not getting an ultrasound first to make sure that the fetus is actually in the uterus, that they're not going to leave her dying from an ectopic pregnancy, not verifying the gestational age so they're within that window where it's at least comparatively safe. I mean, 1 in 10 women who take these abortion pills ends up with a life-threatening complication. And they're just handing them out like Pez. And again, it's just like hearkening back to the outpatient saline abortions. It bewilders me. Why did these people who supposedly are in it because they care about women so indifferent to the women's lives? The day after the abortion, Anita was found unresponsive at her home and was rushed to a local hospital where she was pronounced dead on arrival. A post-mortem examination found the lower half of a 650-gram fetus, that's about 1 pound 7 ounces, protruding from Anita's uterus. And that is more consistent with a baby of 24 to 25 weeks of gestation. So in addition to being willing to play Russian roulette with his patient's life, this doctor was a little bit lackadaisical about getting an accurate gestational age. A quarter of the placenta was still firmly attached to the uterus, and they noticed the puncture wound for the saline injection. This young woman bled to death. But again, this is happening now. Stuff like this with the abortion pills. We had Liana Dixon in Nevada. Planned Parenthood just gave her the pills, sent her home, and she died. And nobody seems to think that that's a bad thing. And please make me understand why they think it's okay to give women treatments that they know might kill them and then just send them home and leave them to fend for themselves, because I don't get it. Supposedly you're there for the woman, and this does not seem like a particularly pro-woman thing to do.